Welcome, little listeners, to tonight's bedtime story on our magical podcast, where dreams take flight and adventures are as big as your imagination. Did you ever feel scared of something new? Maybe it was a loud noise, or a dark room, or even a shower? Well, today we're going on a special adventure with a boy named Luca who felt just like that. Luca loves playing in his bath with his yellow rubber duck, Mr. Quacks. But showers? Oh no, they seem way too scary. Sometimes new things can feel frightening, but with a little help and courage, we might discover something wonderful. So get cozy, and let's find out what happens when Luca faces his fear of showers, with some help from his dad and his trusty friend, Mr. Quacks. Once upon a time, in a cozy house with blue shutters, lived a 6-year-old boy named Luca. He had curly brown hair that bounced when he walked and sparkly green eyes that lit up whenever he laughed. Luca loved building pillow forts, chasing bubbles in the garden, and especially splashing about in his bathtub with his favourite toy, a yellow rubber duck named Mr. Quacks. One morning, Luca was having breakfast with his family when his sister Emma accidentally spilled milk on his pyjamas. As Luca stood up, his cereal spoon went flying, spreading cornflakes all over his curly hair. "Oh dear," Mum said, trying not to laugh as a cornflake slowly slid down Luca's nose. "Looks like someone needs a quick wash before school." "Bath time?" Luca cheered, picking up Mr. Quacks from where he always sat next to his breakfast plate. Luca insisted Mr. Quacks needed breakfast too, even though ducks don't actually eat cornflakes. But when they got to the bathroom, Luca froze. The shower head was doing that scary thing again. Drip, drop, drip. It reminded him of the time his older cousin, Tommy, had turned it on while Luca was reaching for his bath toys. The sudden spray of water had felt like 1,000 tiny pins falling from the sky, and the rushing sound had been so loud it made him jump. "Actually, sweetheart," Mum said, checking her watch, "we don't have time for a bath. Let's try the shower today." Luca's eyes grew as wide as dinner plates, but the shower is too noisy, and the water comes from so high up, and it's all. He waved his hands around like a windmill in a storm, splashy and scary. Dad, who had been walking past, heard Luca's worried voice and peeked into the bathroom. "Hey, buddy," Dad said softly, sitting down next to him. "You know what that shower reminds me of? Remember last summer when we had that brilliant garden party?" Luca nodded slowly, still keeping one eye on the shower. "And remember when it started raining? Instead of running inside, you and your friends stayed out, jumping in puddles and dancing in the warm rain." A tiny smile appeared on Luca's face. "Yeah," Tommy said we were doing the rain dance, and Sarah stuck her tongue out to catch the drops. "Well," Dad said, standing up and walking to the shower, "what if I showed you how to make this shower feel just like that warm summer rain?" First, Dad turned the shower on very softly. The water came out in tiny drops, like a light morning mist. "See, it's just like when Mum sprays her plants." Luca giggled as Dad pretended to be a flower growing taller and taller. He stepped a little closer to look. "Would you like to feel it?" Dad asked, holding out his hand. Luca reached out and touched Dad's wet palm. "It's warm," he said, surprised. "Want to try putting your hand under?" Dad asked. Luca nodded and slowly stretched out his arm. The water felt soft and gentle, nothing like the scary pins he remembered. "It tickles!" Luca laughed. He moved his hand around, making patterns in the falling water. "Look, Dad, I'm making waves." Dad smiled, ready to try standing in it. Luca thought for a moment, then nodded bravely. Still in his milk-splashed pyjamas, he stepped under the warm spray. His eyes widened with surprise. It felt just like that summer rain. He looked up at the shower head and grinned. "Dad! Dad! Look! I'm in a rain cloud." He started dancing just like he had at the garden party. Water dripped from his curls, washing away the cornflakes, and his wet pyjamas stuck to his arms. But Luca didn't mind at all. "Can we make it rain harder?" he asked excitedly. Dad showed him how to adjust the water, and soon Luca was pretending he was in a jungle rainstorm, complete with monkey noises that made Dad laugh so hard he had to sit down. From that day on, shower time became fun time. Luca loved making different rain patterns and telling stories about adventures in the jungle or expeditions to find rainbows. Sometimes he would even pretend he was a weather person on TV. Today's shower forecast: warm and splashy with a chance of bubbles. And Mr. Quacks? Well, he got his very own special spot on the soap dish where he could watch his brave friend Luca enjoy all kinds of wonderful rain showers. When his little sister Emma started being afraid of the shower a few months later, guess who helped her learn to love it? Luca, of course, with help from his trusty friend Mr. Quacks. And that's the story of how Luca discovered that sometimes the things that seem scary can turn into amazing adventures. Isn't it wonderful how his dad helped him see that showers could be just like playing in warm summer rain? And now Luca even helps his little sister Emma when she feels afraid. Remember, it's okay to feel scared of new things. It's also okay to ask for help, just like Luca did. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, don't forget to share the story with your friends and subscribe to our magical podcast. As the story ends and the children close their eyes, they enter a world where anything is possible, and then they dreamed.